Do you think AI will be a good thing or a bad thing for society?
Oh, I already think it's a terrible thing for society.
Oh, I think it's a terrible thing for society too. I'm sure there is some benefit, like the possibilities are really good, but that's just not what we as human beings do. I don't see how this turns out well in the short term at all.
I would be okay if we used AI to make things more effective, but not to use it to deceive and to make profits off of, which is all it is. That's all it's used for now.
Oh, that's what we always do, I feel like, with just about any recent technology. We have high hopes for what we could use it for. Like social media could have been an incredible thing with an exchange of information and meeting people from different cultures and backgrounds that you could never experience. And instead, we've just used it to kind of the lowest common denominator. Like that's what we always do. We always
Well,
do that. So I don't understand why we always have high hopes for things when we always go to the lowest possible denominator that we can get.
because it's the easiest, I feel. It's the less you don't have to use any brain cells for AI social media, right? I mean, look at what ChatGPT can do. You literally don't have to write essays anymore. It writes them for you. Like, that's amazing.
Oh, the way that I see our future is from the movie Wall-E. If AI really does work, I really think we'll end up being like Wall-E, where we can't do anything. We just have to be carted around in chairs. Like that's
Probably not
really what
wrong.
I think our AI future is like.
I mean, there's enough people now that don't know how to interact with people. I feel like that's the first step is, getting people isolation. And the next thing you know, we'll all be being carted around because we can't walk.
I do feel like though that we have to have some sort of solution. I feel that what we're going towards now is kind of fundamentally not what we really are. Like to be just working away in buildings, selling insurance, doing things like that. Like that's not really what we're designed to do. I think we have to find more be get back to a higher purpose, but I don't think AI is the thing that's going to let us do that.
What do you want? You want to become a caveman again? You want to be out in the elements? Do your little run on the little tracky poo?
I don't run on the track. I run on the football field. Track
Oh,
is it's not
okay.
the best. It's not the best track next to my house. But anyway, I polled the audience. 17% of people said it would be good, 28 bad, 20 more good than bad, and 35 more bad than good. So it seems like people pretty overwhelmingly think that it's going to be either completely bad, sort of bad, or kind of bad. I don't think anybody really thinks this is going to be a good idea.
I
Not
mean,
really.
it's already bad. And I mean, look at the most recent example that we can use is obviously the United States, whatever you want to call it, a military operation in Venezuela. How many images and videos were on social media within 10 minutes of that, like hitting an actual news source that were fake? I mean, probably thousands.
Oh, that's a huge problem. I think when you really look at it, ultimately all of society is built on trust at some level or not. Like it's all built on trust. And if you can't trust things, this whole thing goes bad fast for us.
I mean, not going left or right here, but I feel like it starts with the top, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a good thing.
That would be,
Like,
to get political, my single biggest problem with the current administration is that if you erode that trust, you are eroding the fundamental thing that society is based on, and that does not end well for us. All of us.
I'm all about it. I'm even kind of fine with robots to a certain degree, but I'm not okay with robots that can do human, like be a human, serve human functions.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
not okay with any of that.
I'm also not okay at all with the idea that a handful of people are going to decide the future for billions. Because it seems like the vast majority of people that at least I talk to don't really want anything to do with AI, but we're still going to go ahead and do this because there's a handful of people that can make a lot of money off of it. And who cares if we screw the whole planet?
Well, I mean, it's the corporations, right? It's the
Get out of here.
Can I take it?
You throw it away and I'll give you $1. Get out. Gremlin.
ah. Well, that laugh's amazing. All I'm saying is it makes sense financially for businesses, but
Jesus, would you get your heartburn under control?
dude, I've actually been really good. This is my first drink of the new year, so
Oh, on a Tuesday?
I
You know what
decided to
day
have
I'm
it with
going to
you.
drink is a Tuesday.
It's just one beer, and it's kind of like a celebratory, like, podcast thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate that.
All right,
Like,
without
hang,
you
you're
shitting
just
on
you're
it.
taking it easy. All right. I just didn't like, I could never just get wasted on like a Tuesday. What day would you say, what day of the week are you least likely to get messed up?
I mean, it's. Oh. I mean, it's seasonal for me. Like, during the summer and spring nicer months, it's gonna be middle of the week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. But like in the winter, I'm probably more geared towards like Sunday, Monday.
Oh.
Of not drinking hard, I would think.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever gone after it on a Tuesday. I don't think my body would allow me to be like, it's Tuesday. Like, no, it's Tuesday. I'm not getting wasted on a Tuesday.
I've almost become kind of more appreciative of going out on an off, on an off popular day, because you can just sit at the bar, you get quick service, usually deals. It's good stuff.
You're old. You are old.
Hey, you want to talk about the weather?
No, I don't. What's the weather in Buenos Aires? Have you looked recently?
No, but I have a friend who's going to Colombia, so I've been looking at Colombia.
What is the weather in Colombia?
Oh, it's pretty nice. I mean, let's see what it was.
We don't need to. I'll look it
Sure.
up. Why don't you do shout outs while I look
Our-
up what the weather in Colombia is?
All right, shout outs. Here we go. Let's see. We're going to start with Carmela Gardner, Efren Willis, Victor Madden, Mildred Wells, Hassan Jefferson, Ira Boyd, James Blankenship, Lorna Aguilar, and we'll end on Bert Spears.
Don't see a lot of birds. It is currently 44 degrees and cloudy in Bogota, Colombia. I would have thought that would not be the temperature in Bogota, Colombia, but apparently there it is.
That does sound kind of terrible, doesn't it?
Right, that doesn't sound good. I thought it would be like 70s or 80s in Colombia right now.
That does sound terrible.
Yeah. Isn't it summer
Let's see here.
in the southern hemisphere? Is that how that works?
Must only be Australia or something.
I don't know. Okay.
Let's see. Man, here's the problem. I feel like there was so much that happened in the last 2 weeks, but I also feel like it's nothing that I truly care nor want to talk about. Is that bad?
No, I mean, I essentially have a 30-minute attention span. My attention span has decreased significantly over the last couple of years.
I feel like that's everybody's. Like, that's why social media is so popular.
Can we talk about Venezuela without getting political? Because to me, I was
Sure.
like, we invaded? What? We're fighting Venezuela? Like, it just seems so random. Like, wait. Venezuela? Okay.
I mean, I don't know how you don't bring... To me, it's very eerily reminiscent of what the Bush administration did with Iraq and Afghanistan. Basically where, and once again, don't take put politics in this, but you create something that maybe is there, maybe isn't, but you make people believe it is, and you go in and you conduct things like literally kidnapping a world leader, and nothing's going to happen. No, I'm not saying Nicolas Maduro is a good person. I'm sure he isn't. Venezuela's had a lot of problems, but regardless, we still invaded another country.
Oh, yeah. We invaded another country.
Killed 80 people that they're reporting. Some civilians in that number, too, if you believe the media. So it's not like we just went in, captured one person, and got out. Like, they made a ruckus. The problem is, you don't know what to believe in terms of video and things that come out, like we were saying earlier, or I was saying earlier, because there's so many videos. But it looked pretty, like, surreal what was happening.
I haven't watched any of it because I'm not in the news anymore like you, and I don't really want to pay attention. The headline's all I need for most stuff.
Without getting into politics, what I'm more interested in is President Trump released a quote earlier today on Tuesday saying he's seriously looking at military action against Greenland. They want Greenland. And once again, taking politics out of it, it's like, Greenland? Like, Greenland?
Well, because I feel like all of society, again, trying to keep politics out of it, like all of society does this thing where there's something that we should do, but instead we do something else. Yeah, like, you know what? Should we confront Russia or China or any of the or North Korea or anybody that you could list as like a bad actor? No, but we will invade Greenland. You know, it's like, should we do this thing? Yeah, we should. But instead, let's do this.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We started this podcast halfway through his first administration. I don't even know. We still have 3 years of this left. And, I guess it's entertaining, I suppose, but it's a lot on a daily basis. Like, once again, taking politics out of it, just trying to keep up with anything, in terms of news. It's very, like, exhausting and just sad. Like, it's just sad.
Oh, I'm so tired of all of it. Worn out of all of it. Just like, God, I just want things to be normal. And I feel like you and I are I'm a little bit older than you, but relatively the same age, where my entire adult life has been one crisis to another. I think all millennials basically have experienced that, where it's been one crisis to another for the last 24 years, 25 years. Just always something, and always things that seem to be very avoidable that we could have just like, no, we could have gotten around this. Do you think, okay, let's try to lighten this up. Do you think your 2026 will be better than your 2025? You're personally, like, are you more optimistic about this year than last year?
Absolutely. For one reason, and that is, so I lost 18 real pounds last year.
Okay.
And I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Probably isn't a lot, to be honest. But I did it without any kind of shots and all that other stuff. My goal this year, my 2 goals, is to kind of keep on that path. I want to lose like 30 pounds this year. I've already signed up for a half marathon in October.
Okay. All right. I like it. Like, setting the sights relatively low. It's a half marathon and it's all the way. It's 9 months from now. I like it. Right. Yeah. Like, achievable, but distant.
But the biggest thing that I need to do that will make my 26 better for me personally, and maybe everyone else out there can reminisce, is like, I have to figure out what makes me happy.
Oh, yeah. That's called a midlife crisis, man. You're going to hit a midlife crisis. I've already been through it. You're younger enough. You're younger enough than me. You know what I'm trying to say. You haven't hit the midlife crisis yet. I've gone through the midlife crisis. But, like, it's brutal.
Are you supposed to hit a midlife crisis at 40?
Yeah, right around there. I would say between 37 and 43 is when you hit the midlife crisis, because you come to the realization that, like, oh, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Because in some weird way, half of your life is over, but you still have at least half, but you still have an incredible amount of time left, and you're not really sure what you're going to do, and you also don't have as many options. I think that's what's so tough about a midlife crisis, because you need to find yourself, but it's much more difficult for you to completely change your paths. I know a lot of people that are going through that. It's tough, man. It's hard.
But yeah, I guess not. We've had some deep conversations already on this. If you're just listening to this podcast, we don't usually talk about anything deep. Yes, I think 2026 is going to be a better year for me personally. What about you?
I have no idea.
I mean, without going into details, your 2025
Oh, my
was
2025
pretty
was
shitty.
Yeah, my 2025, you can make an easy argument, was one of the worst years of my life. The dog died, family members died, basement flooded, and my son had to get an emergency liver transplant. I mean, it's pretty easy to beat 2025. But at the same time, like, you look back on it and like you got through that. You come out so much stronger. I don't think negative experiences should be viewed negatively. I think that you should see them as positives, that you were able to get through that.
You literally are the only person in my entire phone book that will message me just randomly. We couldn't have talked for 5 days, and your first message to me will be something about me being a bitch, or why aren't I doing 3 shots and a beer at Saturday night at 1 a.m. I appreciate you for that.
You have developed some bitch tendencies. There's just no dog in you. If you went to the doctor, they would prescribe you with not having any dog in you right now.
Oh my God.
You got to get the dog back. Looking at you
right,
soft.
I do need to get the dog back.
You got to get the dog back in you. It's got no dog in you. That's what the doctor's diagnosis would be. He's like, you might be a bitch.
Let's see here. I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to go out and kind of ignore you for a second and not ask you the question, but I'm going to say a statement that I think Stranger Things might be one of the most overrated shows of all time.
The first season was great. Everything since then has been a letdown. Everything since then has been like, not to go back on the AI thing, but it's been like a computer designed it based on the algorithm of what they thought people liked. So many Netflix shows are like that. It's like a studio executive just designed this. It's all trying too hard. And I hate to say it, but those kids were cute when they were younger, and now they can't act. Like,
wow.
Oh, they cast them based on cuteness, and like, oh, you're not really good actors.
Do you watch Stranger Things? I didn't think that you watched it.
I am trying to get through the last season right now. And it's just like, oh, this is terrible.
That is a great way to put it. We are trying to get through the last season as well, and it's not good. And I agree with you.
It's just
I don't even think, what's her name, Bobby Millie Brown. I don't even think she's very good of an actress.
No, but that, like, I don't think that they were cast for their acting abilities. I think that they were cast for the kids that they were playing at the time, and then like, well, now what are we gonna do? Yeah, that's another big. A lot of the really big shows over the last couple of years, and the only 2 I can think of are honestly Game of Thrones and Stranger Things, have been big letdowns. Like,
I mean, I would argue that Game of Thrones just went on. I feel like a lot of shows go on for too many seasons, but how are they supposed to wrap it up? I feel like they did a fine job.
Oh, well, obviously you haven't read the books, and as someone who's read the books, that automatically makes me better than you.
By the way, have we done a podcast since I became a wrestling champion?
Oh, are you a wrestling champion now?
We are. We won the title at the event.
Oh yeah, we
December.
did. We did the last one. I mean, listen. That you being a wrestling champion is a little bit like me being the 3rd fastest kid in the state of Kansas. Like, technically true, but not like the way that you are saying it, right? Like, you are a wrestling champion, and I am was once the 3rd fastest kid in the state of Kansas, but it's not like, if you keep explaining it, you can't, But congratulations.
Like,
when's your next big match? Are you training?
February.
Okay. Solo? You gonna go solo? You gonna break out?
No, but I do think we're gonna possibly have a tag team match. So.
Oh, okay. Like tag team, like 2 guys going at you.
Got it. Got it, man.
Well, I'm very proud of you for pursuing your wrestling dream.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You never know. Maybe it's going to turn into something.
You never know. That is what 2025 has taught me. Boy, your life can change in an instant. It can just completely change. You can have a before and an after, and that difference can happen in a second.
I will say, though, that I brought in 2026 the way that 2025 started and ended, and that was me and the family were supposed to go over a friend's house and, have some drinks and watch the ball drop and all that stuff. And at about 5:30, my oldest just starts throwing up everywhere. So
I know you want to change. I'm not gonna continue this because I know you desperately want to turn this into the dad wrestling podcast. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ask you any follow-up questions. I'm just gonna say like, oh, I'm glad your daughter's okay.
I mean, if you want to turn this into a dad wrestling podcast.
Are you ready?
You're ready. Am I ready? Of course I'm ready.
It's time. The outlaw candle connoisseur rides again. Candle of the month 2026.
We're starting off with, I got this as kind of a gag joke from a coworker.
Okay.
For the holidays, but man, it's awesome. And it's by Goose Creek Candle. Head over to goosecreekcandle.com. I believe it's only going to be up. It's a seasonal candle. Okay. But it's in my favorite 3 wicks. You can get it on clearance right now. I checked it out right before I hopped on. And without further ado, the first candle of the month for 2026 is Pillsbury Cinnamon Rolls.
That's a seasonal candle?
Yeah, it's for the holidays. It's for the winter.
Oh, it's on clearance. But are you going to be burning a seasonal holiday candle in February?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, the candle discussion boards are going to be filled with controversy. This is like wearing white after Labor Day.
There actually was a post about not this candle, but Goose Creek. Sorry, you asked. You kind of brought it up. They make other like scented candles for like holiday foods, like apple cinnamon bread, chocolate chip cookie. And somebody said that they make them with real ingredients, and that person got absolutely ripped to shit, as they should have. So
wow.
So you asked, it's the candle.
What is like a vicious oral beating like in the candle forums? Is it passive aggressive? Is it passive aggressive? I feel like it's passive aggressive.
So there's one user that's really cranky. She must be an old lady. So,
well, I mean, you would think, but then again, here you are in the candle connoisseur. Have you made any friends on the candle forums?
I don't know if I made friends, but I have had direct messages about certain things with people.
Okay. Okay, so, how many?
I feel like if I was to reveal that I was the candle connoisseur, like that would completely shut down the forums. Like it would be over.
I don't know why you haven't made anything out of this. Can you do something with this in 2026?
Maybe.
Maybe
I'll file this for a copyright. Aren't they free, or do you got to pay like $20?
I have no idea how that stuff works, but you should probably do that. Okay, but tell us about the scent of the candle, because right now you just said the candle and gave us no other information other than cranky people complaining on forums about it.
So, like I said, it's 3 wicks. It's going to start off, if you haven't experienced a cold day and you get up and there's kind of, say your heat kicked off at like 3-4 a.m. and it's kind of frosty in your house and you wake up and you just smell a cinnamon roll baking in the oven. Have you ever done that?
No, I don't have a sense of smell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck. I don't know how I forget that.
Everybody does. Everyone does.
It starts off, it will fill your house with the aromatics of, like a sweet icing. And then as it goes, it gets through the body, just like how you would eat a cinnamon roll, right? It's very bold. It's very full. And for $10 right now on goosecreekcandle.com, you gotta go. Check it out.
What's the burn time?
God, I went through mine about 4 days, so probably less than 70 hours, which is pretty normal for a 3 wick.
Okay. I would like to remind people listening to this or watching this that John does have 2 children, so we can assume that he has had sex with a woman twice. 2 times.
At least 2 times.
At least 2 times.
Maybe 6 or 7 times.
Maybe. That's a big year for the Shull house.
6, 7, 6.
Is that an O'Doul's? Would you ever drink a non-alcoholic beer?
Well, I've so when I undergo my liver stuff from time to time, even though it's been a few years because I'm doing such a great job, where I have to quit drinking, I have tried O'Doul's, but to me, I just can't do something half-ass. So like I have to give it up cold, or like an O'Doul's it's just not good enough. Like I need the actual beer. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a Yingling, by the way.
Oh, okay. When I was a younger man, there was a point in my life when I, would steal beer because that's what I was doing. And I once stole a case of O'Doul's, not realizing that it was non-alcoholic. Like, oh, O'Doul's, I haven't had that. Steal that. And then I sold it to a kid for $5. I was like, hey, man, I'll give you this $5. This was way back in the day. You could get a case for $9.99. Sold him a case of O'Doul's for $5.
I remember in college you get an 18-pack of bottles of Land Shark for like $14, and you thought you were living life.
Oh man, Keystone was like the cheapest. That was like you could get that for I think maybe 9 to 12 for a 30-pack.
Keystone, man.
No.
I can't do. I haven't been able to do cheap beer since I became an adult.
That's the best. I actually prefer cheap beer. I don't drink beer very much anymore, but if I do, I want it to be swill. Just cheap swill.
Yeah, you drink, I don't know.
I drink cheap shit. Stuff. Give me some. I want to know that I'm drinking it. You guys, you Nancy pansies. Oh, I want my drinks to taste good. I want my alcohol to be smooth. No. You drink the cheap stuff so that you know you're drinking it. You want that to make you feel like you're going to barf. That's how you know you're drinking, when you feel sick. That's how a man drinks. Give me the nastiest rot gut stuff you can find. You ready for our top 5?
Yeah.
So our top 5 is top 5 signs you're getting older. Little things that you notice that are like, oh, I'm getting older. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is I don't get involved in like petty arguments anymore. And like that's all the way around. Like if my kids are going at it, if my wife is just like talking at me, I just sit there and take it now. I don't even get involved. I just sit there and then when they're done, I'm just like, oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, you don't have the energy for arguments and you realize they don't really matter. So you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, like it's just you said it, I don't have the energy and I'm not gonna anything I say no one's gonna listen to anyways. So
my number 5 is you make a sound every time you get up. You know you're getting older when you can't stand up without making some sort of sound. Like, oh
yeah. And if it's not verbal, it's your bones letting you know that you're getting older.
Oh, yeah. It's either you saying something or making some noise or your bones cracking. That's like, I noticed that's like, oh, I'm getting older because every time I stood up, I was like, oh. It's not good. It's not good, Clark.
Oh, but can we cut us just for 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase. What is going on with Chevy Chase? Is he really that terrible of a human being? Like, he
must be. He must be just but I've heard from I do look at Reddit and I follow someone, I wouldn't say follow, but when I see like celebrity gossip, I might look at it. But he just must be a terrible human being that everybody hates.
Yeah, I mean that's
what's crazy. Like that will be his ultimate legacy, is that of an asshole. He had some funny movies, but like when you find out somebody's just an asshole, you kind of remember him more for that. Apparently Bill Murray is also the same way. They're like, oh, he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that to come out though, because I feel like Bill Murray's a You know, he's a funny guy.
Okay, it's your number 4.
I've noticed that before I go grocery shopping, I try to find coupons.
Do you cut them out? You don't cut
No,
them out, do you?
no, because they're digital, you know, for the most part. But
Okay.
I'm not above paper coupons if I get them, but it's usually I'll spend like 5 to an hour before.
That's a heck of a time difference between 5 to an hour. So which one is it really? You go look for coupons for an hour before you...
I mean, yeah. But I've even gotten to the point to where I'm like, man, if I can get eggs 30 cents cheaper, I'll go to the other store just to buy eggs.
Oh, see, I don't understand that because you spent that money on gas.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but you feel like once it's in the tank, you don't really think that much about it.
Yeah. No.
Like it's already bought. And then it's all free, right? Like once you buy it, like the rest of the trip is free. Like, oh, this is free. I could go anywhere if I don't have to pay anything. Like, well, you already paid for it. Yeah, you gotta think this whole way through, right? You don't want to drive across into the great state of Ohio to save 50 cents on eggs.
I would never do that.
Would you say 75?
If I'm driving to Ohio, which is about 60 miles from me, it better be $2 or $3 difference at least.
Well, if it's $2 cheaper, then I'll spend 2 hours driving, but not. Okay, I like it. That's math. That's math there.
That's mathisms.
My number 4 is falling asleep anywhere. I fell asleep at the dentist's office. No kidding. Like, I was at the dentist. They were cleaning my teeth, and I fell asleep.
That's pretty funny, man.
I woke up, and the lady was like, "You were asleep." And I said, "That's not a good sign, is it?" She's like, "No, probably not."
Now, I still am at the point in my life where if I nap, I get angry. So I'm not to that point yet.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a problem with napping, but it's like when you don't want to fall asleep and you can. Like if I get bored watching TV, it's over. I'm down.
Down goes Frasier. This one is going to make me sound really old, but it's so true. And it's basically whenever I try to turn on the radio or even see who's popular in like the music scene, I have no idea who anyone is. Like I might, or what song is popular for them. Like, yeah, I know who Cardi B is, but I have no idea what her song is that's out that's popular.
That's my number 3 is when you don't recognize anyone at award shows.
Oh, yeah. Like
that's a great sign that you're getting older when you know more politicians than celebrities. Like when you turn on the award show and you don't know who any of these people are, you're getting old.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I got excited to see Brooks and Dunn. Like, oh, no, I did?
Yeah. Like you're now the person going to the casino concerts. There's like, I don't even know who's a popular musician now. Like I couldn't even, Sabrina Carpenter. Like you can go see Sabrina Carpenter at the arena, or you can go see Blink 182 at the casino. Like, well, I'm gonna go see Blink 182.
Yeah, that's a great and like you're excited as shit, right? And all the kids
I'm gonna go
like,
see Blink 182. Like
all the kids
they
like,
play at 7, they're done at 8:30.
Yeah, right. Except, man, it costs so much money to see those bands. It's insane.
Oh, I wouldn't go to a concert now. I'm not paying over $100. Like, get out of here with that. It's number 2. Are we on number 2?
We are. I don't really know how to sum this one up other than to just kind of say, but it's basically just feeling old. Like things that you've experienced where it's like, man, yeah, I went through 9/11. It feels like it was just 5 days ago. Oh no, it was 20, plus years ago. Like, shit.
When the kids today are learning about things in the history books that you lived through.
Sure. Yeah. Like, like the great, the millennia turnover from 99 to 2000. Like,
2K,
oh
baby.
yeah, that feels like it was 5 years. Oh no, it was 26 years ago.
25 years ago.
Well, yeah, sorry, 25. But it's like I was a teen. Oh no, like just time, man. Time just makes you feel old.
My number two is a one drink hangover. I had one drink and was hung over the next day. And not like a big one, like a legitimate one shot drink, and had a hangover until like 11 a.m. the next day, which is a really long time when you wake up at like 6. It's not good.
Did you? I mean, what? Please tell me it was like a light beer, a PBR or something.
No, it was some kind of hard alcohol.
You sure you didn't get drugged?
Maybe. I would hope so. But I was like, am I hung over off of one drink from the night before? Yes.
That's pretty good. I don't. I've actually, the older I get a lot of people asking me, like, what is your tolerance? Like, what does it take to get you drunk? And I don't think that's a compliment. I think that just means I drink a lot.
How many do you have? How many would it take to get you drunk?
I mean, hard liquor, obviously. I mean, if I did 5 or 6, 7, 8 shots, is going to get me there. But I mean, I can drink beer over the course of 5, 6, 7, 8 hours and not feel anything. But I also have to give a shout out to somebody I know. His name's Andy, who can put down probably 30 beers in 8 hours, and he would still be sober as a bird. So,
oh man, I'm right at 3 or 4. If I have 3 or 4 now, woo.
Yeah,
but I do a lot of other stuff.
You do a lot of things that we probably shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it's legal in many states, so I think it's fine. But I don't know how the algorithm feels about you saying it. Crossfading, I believe, is what the kids call it.
So my number one is actually something you talk about all the time with me, and that basically is just like my topics of conversation have changed as I've gotten older. Like 20 years ago, it was about drinking and girls and clubs and, man, I can't wait for work to be done so I can go home and work out and go drinking. Now it's like, you get together with your friends and it's, man, did you see so-and-so? They bought a house, or so-and-so's kids, or 401ks, or politics. It's just like, just talk older. Like, it's just boring.
That's in my honorable mention, is talking about property values. When you start talking about property values, that's a big sign that you're getting older. Like, oh, yeah. You drive by a house and you look up how much it costs.
God dang it. Well, I'm there, so.
Yeah. My number one, though, is you start talking about the weather all the time. The weather becomes like the second or third most frequent topic that you talk about. The more you talk about the weather, the older you are getting.
Well, because I do feel like the weather dictates a lot of things for a lot of people. Like if you're old, you don't want to go out in crappy weather, right? You can wait till it's nicer weather.
Right. The weather is much more of an influence on you as you get older. You don't understand. Like when you're younger, you're just like, I don't care what the weather is. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Now you're like, well,
I'm going to go outside when it's 5 degrees in a t-shirt and shorts because I'm not going to be cold.
I never understood people who brought a jacket out. Like, what do you mean bringing a jacket? It's 2 degrees below zero. So? Not wearing a jacket? Going in this t-shirt and jeans.
That depends. I mean, that's pretty. I get that.
I'm sorry. Some people are tough. Other people are sitting there.
You live in a state where you don't even get snow.
Well, I live in Washington.
No, you live in Seattle.
That's not a state. That's a city.
Right. Yeah, but okay, fine. You live in a city and a state that still doesn't get a lot of snow except for like one mountain range.
Do you know how there's like a bunch of mountain ranges? Don't you try to have a weather off with the locals. Okay? You want to have a weather off? I live next to Mount Baker. Mount Baker has the highest recorded snowfall on Earth ever. 1,040 inches of snow. Don't come at me about the weather facts, son. It's going to be a long day for you. What else do you want to know about Washington weather? I'll tell you right now.
I just want to know that if I ever come out there, can we go whale watching?
No, it's really boring. I think that was one of the worst times I've ever had in my life. It's like, we're going to be on this boat. It's not real big, but we're going to be on it for the next 5 hours.
Did you
Didn't see a
whale?
damn thing. No.
Well,
Didn't
it sounds
see
like
a
you should
thing.
get your money back.
I don't want to see, I don't want to see animals in the wild. I want to see them from a very far I want to see them on TV. I don't want to see animals in the wild. And the reason that I say that is if you've seen a bunch of animals, you know you don't really want to see a bear in the wild because it might come after you. And then you're not going to end up very well. Do you have anything in your honorable mention? I have things to do.
I can outrun a bear. I ever tell you that?
God, I'm stopping it. I'm not. A bear can run a 100-meter dash in 5 seconds. I'm stopping. I'm not going into this with you in 2026.